Once you have upgraded your website, you will be able to connect a custom domain to your site. And so if your dashboard doesn't look like this and you don't see the option right here to connect a domain, you can always search for domains in your search bar. You can search for anything in this search bar, and the answers that repopulate are typically quite fitting. So whether you have clicked connect a domain from your dashboard or searched for it here, this is what it's going to look like. It's important to remember that you do have a free domain voucher for your first year. And so that only applies if you are going to be purchasing your domain via Wix. Whether you own your domain or whether you'd like to purchase a new domain, you're going to plug in your requested website domain here. Once you've entered your desired domain, go ahead and click Let's Go. If you've entered a domain that you already own, you can go ahead and click Yes, I own this domain. And you'll follow all of the instructions beyond this to either point your domain to Wix or to transfer your domain over to Wix. My recommendation is to transfer your domain over to Wix for a couple of reasons. One being all of your website subscriptions can be in one place, so you're not paying your domain annual or monthly or biannual subscription to GoDaddy, for example, and then purchasing your hosting through Wix. It's actually just going to mean that all of your website related costs and subscriptions are going to be in one place, which makes it a lot easier when it comes to maintaining your subscriptions. Wix has a very user-friendly interface when it comes to managing these elements of your website, whereas some third-party platforms can be a little bit more complex or complicated to use. Another benefit for transferring your domain over to Wix is that if you do by chance need our support with anything domain related, we then have the tools and the access that we need to support you with any domain related issues or configurations. So if you already own your domain, you'll simply click, Yes, I own this domain. And you'll follow the prompts that Wix provides in order for you to transfer that domain over to Wix. If you don't own this domain, but unfortunately this domain has already been taken, you have the option to select a few options down here that Wix has recommended, or you can simply update your URL in a way that it still represents your business, but of course is not already in use. So a really simple way to do this is to add a hyphen, for example, or simply add in a new word. That is, again, still relevant to your business, doesn't elongate the URL to an extent where it's no longer memorable or complicated for a user to input into their browser, but gives you a better chance of that domain being available, just like that. If once you find your domain and it is available, you go ahead and click Get It. You'll see that if you have a free domain voucher, that discount will already be applied. And from here, you can choose how many years you'd like to purchase your domain for. Domains are a lot lower in cost than your hosting plan, for example. So if you wanted to purchase right up to 5 years, you're going to get your best savings there. I really like to purchase my domain and my hosting in the same time period. So if I chose 2 years for my hosting, I typically like to choose 2 years for my domain so that everything is renewing at the same time. That said, if you found a domain that you really love and you feel strongly that that's something that you're always going to use, go ahead and pick the biggest amount of years and go ahead and click continue to move on to the next step. Here you'll be asked to input all of your contact information, and you've got two check boxes here. If you have somebody on your team who manages tech-related or admin-related things regarding your business, you do have the option to input a separate set of contact details for your tech person and your admin person. But if you're a solopreneur or if all of those elements are taken care of in-house, just make sure that these checkboxes are selected, and then you only have to enter your contact details one time. Once you've entered all of your contact details, you'll be taken to this screen. And so you have the choice to choose the level of privacy that's going to be incorporated in your domain registration. So you've got three options here. You can either choose a private registration and security. You've got just private registration, and then you have public registration. Between the two options here, you can see there's not a huge price difference. It's always good to just go with the recommended privacy and security package here. You could opt for just a simple private registration, or of course you could opt for public registration, which as you can see has no cost associated. I strongly recommend not moving forward with the public registration, as it means that any details that you input on the page prior can actually be publicly found online. And so if you are somebody who works from home, chances are the contact info you put here is also your personal address information. For this type of price, I definitely recommend choosing a private registration to make sure that none of your personal address details are posted publicly online. Selecting a private registration also means that you could be exempt from a major amount of spam that you can receive by choosing a public registration. If you choose to register your domain publicly, there's a good chance you'll receive a lot of emails from SEO, website builders that basically just send automated emails to anybody with a public domain registration. You'll be saving yourself a lot of time and energy by opting for one of these. So definitely recommend this top one here. You can opt for just private registration should you wish, and I definitely strongly don't recommend moving forward with a public registration. When you're done, you go ahead and click continue. You'll be taken to the checkout screen, the same as when you purchased your hosting plan, and your details will likely already be saved. So the process is going to be nice and simple. You go ahead and click continue, wrap up your purchase, and your domain will be connected to your new Wix website. If you're purchasing a domain through Wix, just like this, your domain will be connected automatically. But if you have an existing domain that you are either pointing or transferring to Wix, you will have to anticipate waiting up to 72 hours for that domain to fully transfer over to your Wix site. But don't worry, Wix will keep you updated via email once that domain has been connected, or if they've run into any issues trying to connect your third-party domain to your Wix website. Once you're all finished setting up your domain, you will be prompted to set up your domain email, which is a step that I definitely recommend taking if you don't already have an email address associated with your business domain.